Welcome to our live at 10 pre-service hangout. The service is starting in less than 15 minutes. My name is Angie. This is
Shana.
And this is...
My name is Musa.
And we are so excited for this morning service. Why don't you drop in the comments, say a hey so we know that you're here.
Yes.
We've got George, we've got John, we've got Becca. We are so happy to see everyone. And if it's your first time joining in today, we are so happy that you're with us this morning. Yes, as I said, so excited for today's service.
Yeah, literally, we have got an amazing service lined up for you. We're going to have some worship. We're going to hear a great message from Pastor Bob all about self-talk and on the topic of mental health. It's going to be amazing. I'm super excited. This is the second week, though, of our lessons from lockdown. Last week was phenomenal.
Yes.
So I thought maybe we should start by running through some highlights from last Sunday's service.
Yes, definitely.
So feel free to drop in the comments like what your highlight was. But Angie, what was your favourite bit?
Ooh, I feel like it's difficult because like I'm not in a bad way because the service was so good.
Yeah,
I'm not struggling to find a highlight. But no, I think one of my highlights was that animation that played before the preach. Like, it was so creative. Like I just don't even know how people can do it. Like the talent we have here at the Junction Church,
know,
like
so
the production tech team, you know, out of this world. But yes, that was my highlight. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend go and watch it again.
This tech team need to teach me some of this because my creativity skills are just not on their level. But honestly, last week, it was just so good. Like from start to finish, as you were saying, Angie, like just phenomenal service. But Pastor always talk on just self-talk and just the importance of it. I particularly like the analogy of filtering your thoughts through a sieve.
Yes.
I was like, wow, that's something which I could definitely put into my week and which I definitely have put into my week. So I absolutely love it.
It was the comment on like sifting your thoughts through God's grace that got me. Wow, what a point. I mean, we've got some great comments coming in. Lots of people loving the worship. So Becca, Josie, Marina, loving the worship. Absolutely.
I love the worship. From the studio as well. I forgot to say, obviously we are here in the studio.
Live in the studio.
In the studio. And it looks so good.
It does look so good.
I feel like it just kind of replicates like what a Sunday morning would have been if we were meeting together, but like...
I'm not going to lie, I really want to take the green wall home with me. Like, I think this would look really good.
I think the creative team will be all right with that. I think just do it. Just go for it. Absolutely go for it.
If this isn't here next week, guys, you know where it is. Like.
Musa, George Taylor has said Musa's creative on the football pitch.
Ooh.
Well, I've got to say, you know, I dabbled a bit with rugby, but now football's my game. So,
is this what you've been doing? Like what, in lockdown? Have you just developed this
lockdown.
new
I've just
skill?
become the top-rated footballer of all time. But guys, let's
move aside all professional footballers.
I'm here.
We've got Musa. Also, can I just point out, George's comment for highlights from last week was just the whole service. It was just all good. George can't specify one thing, just the whole thing.
That's why, guys, we need to share. This is something which cannot be missed, guys. Share with your friends, family, parents, dog, cats, every animal.
Go knock on next door, give them the link in person, like post-it notes.
Exactly. Persuade them.
Get
you know what?
creative,
Get some cookies, give it to your neighbours. Oh yeah, watch church. Have a cookie. Do what you got to do.
Speaking of cookies, though, I do want to bring it to this because obviously we're all really, really missing being live in person as well, especially because we miss like the biscuits. The biscuits are definitely, you know.
Don't even get me started.
I don't have the same biscuits at home as we normally have live at church. But Musa, you were going to tell us about a pre-service routine that you have got.
Pre-service routine.
Yeah.
I miss being in person. Honestly, the hospitality team, they just destroy the set. Biscuits, drinks, everything. I need a hospitality team at my house. Honestly, but also you need to just living in the comfort of your own house. You can have a nice drink. Some people have water. Some people have juice. Some people don't like juice. Some people have squash. Coffee?
Yes,
Coffee's
definitely
good.
coffee. Coffee is good.
Okay, Angie, I'm not sure I'm liking your vibe right there, all right? But then some people have tea.
Come on.
And the question arises, how do you make your tea?
Ooh.
Milk first or water first? I have strong views, so I'm staying out of this one, but guys, it's up to you. What do you guys do? What do you guys really do?
Ooh. Well, let us know in the comments as well.
Yeah, please tell us how you make your tea. And if you don't drink tea, just put coffee.
Don't forget, only 5 minutes left to the service, guys.
Let's go. So with my tea, I am a water in first because that is like the only way you're supposed to be drinking tea. Okay.
I respect that.
So.
Okay, I just want to say it kind of depends on how I'm making the tea. So if I'm making it with a tea bag, water first, then milk. Okay, well, obviously the tea bag first. So tea bag, water, milk. I'm not going to put water and milk and then throw the tea bag in at the end. But if I'm making like a pot of tea with like loose leaf tea and I'm making it really fancy, I do put the milk in first while the tea is like brewing, mashing in the pot. Mashing.
What not technology.
That's it. So
Wow.
I found this out this week. Mashing is a Midlands term for like brewing tea, and I didn't know that this was a Midlands thing. I thought this was just a British thing. But yeah, well, it's like mashing, brewing in the pot. I can't not say it now. Sounds like I'm making like weird tea potatoes, doesn't it?
I've never heard anyone say, I'm just going to go and mash my tea.
No, honestly, if anyone here is from the Midlands and you know what I'm talking about, feel free to put that in the comments.
All right, guys, you may just be joining and you may be thinking, what is going on? But we're here at the pre-service live at 10. And you've caught us in the discussion on how to make your tea. But guys, you're in for a great service.
Yes,
honestly, I really cannot wait. But
Literally.
obviously, water first when you're making your
Someone's
tea. Guys.
put
Water first.
just don't drink tea, and I think
Yeah.
really that's a conclusion we can come to here. Coffee's just easier.
I'm seeing a lot of people drinking water, and I respect that. Water is a good, safe choice for
Just
like,
cleanse yourself. Get yourself ready for the
you know,
day, no?
a pre.
Wait, hang on.
drink.
What's
Yeah.
this one? Put cold water in first, then leave it there and just drink water. That's not how you make tea. That's just water.
Wow. Wow. Some of these comments are a bit questionable, but we all love you. That's it. We love you.
Love them. That is very,
You
very true.
know what? I've started to think maybe tea potatoes isn't the worst idea anyone's ever had. Maybe
Let's not
tea
digress that
infused
far.
mashed potato
Oh,
might
my
be
days.
a shout. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I might trial it this week. Let's just see.
Wow. Well, only a couple minutes until the service starts. So get sharing, get your drink,
Yes.
whether it be mashed potato tea or, a normal tea like the rest of us be drinking. And get ready for what's going to be
Yes.
such an incredible service.
I know, definitely. And then also, I think maybe we should just spend a minute and talk about what is your go-to worship song right now as well?
Ooh.
Because obviously Junction Collective have brought out quite a few new songs
gosh.
that have been scattered through our services. So what's kind of the go-to Junction Collective new worship song? I think this is a really hard question because they've all been amazing.
They have.
For me, Psalm 27. I've put it there. Psalm 27. That's it.
Yes.
That's it for me.
What a shout. Angie?
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, I can't remember titles. I'm really bad.
Gosh. You're gonna have to sing. I'm just gonna have to sing. Sing.
For us, Angie. What's your favourite one? Come on, Angie.
Like, I've gone blank. Like, I know. Come back to me. Let's see what people say in the comments. I've literally forgot the title to like my favourite song.
Wow.
Erin knows what song it is. Erin, yes, We Will Rise Again. That's it. Yes, James. We Will Rise Again is
We
the
got
bop.
there in the end. I have to say,
Wow.
to be honest, you've stolen mine because that's also my absolute favourite. I've literally listened to that like on repeat through just
It's a good
All of it. So
song.
good.
so
All of
good.
it.
We are so lucky with the Junction Collective.
We
We're so
actually are.
talented.
We have
Like,
so many talented
some people were born to sing, like people in Junction Collectives, and then there's like people like me. Like, who just, I'm a congregation singer. That's what I say.
A congregation singer
A
is okay. Interesting.
I sing from the back.
But what I've loved is just the creativity in this time. I just
Yeah.
like worship's just gone to a whole new level, and
Definitely.
that's one of the things which I'm so excited to see in this service. Just the
Yes.
creativity of the worship team, creativity of the service.
Yeah.
Guys, share. If you have not shared the
Literally.
service,
Yes.
share it. So, guys, we only have a couple of seconds before we go to the 5-minute countdown video. But that video, I was dancing. So, guys, you better get ready to dance. Put your dancing shoes on. Get the tea ready. Get everything ready. Get all the family along.
Yeah.
Because we're going to need to see your moves, guys, as well.
Yeah.
We're going to need to see that.
Yeah, definitely. I think if I wasn't in the studio, if I was at home, I'd be like windows down, music full blast. Service full blast. We'd have like a whole street socially distanced service. Like get everybody involved.
I love that idea.
I think what a great shout. It's like having church on your street.
So good. So we're going to be going countdown video very soon, aren't we? So see you guys there.
I'm living in it every day. You're giving me life, real life, and there is nothing that can take it away.
Hello, Junction Church.
Good morning.
It is fantastic to have you here. It is Sunday morning. It is the best day of the week, and we love it that you've joined us today for online church. Can you believe, Joe? By the way, this is Joe.
Hello.
My name is Pastor Roy. I should have done that intro at the very start. But anyway, this is how slick we are at the Junction Church. Can you believe that today, I believe, is week 18 of online church? Can you believe that? Week 18.
I've lost count. Like, it's just been all merged into one very long week at this point. But
have you had a haircut in those 18 weeks?
Clearly, no. I mean, my hair and I, we have a bit of a relationship. It's a bit on and off at the moment. But, yeah.
Well, things got so desperate for me. My wife cut my hair, but people keep saying, do you think she's done a good job with my hair?
I thought she did all right. I thought she did really good, actually, yeah.
Hey, listen, it is absolutely fantastic to have you with us today. Now, tell us what's coming up in church today, then,
Yes,
Joe.
we have an exciting service planned out for you today. I am looking forward to it. We're going to be hearing from some members of our church. We're going to be talking to some of our church family, and also stick around because there's a behind-the-scenes video coming up as well, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. But what I'm also really looking forward to is we're going to be hearing from our guest speaker this morning. His name is Pastor Bob Carley, and he's going to be talking to us all about the subject of mental health, which is something that's very, very important, particularly in this time. So much stuff to look forward to.
Lots to look forward to, but of course, all of that is coming up. But we always like to start our services by giving God some praise. Worship and praise is a big deal for us in the Junction Church. We love to sing, and so we're going to just sing some songs of praise right now. So come on, don't just watch, really enter into these songs. Sing them with all your heart, even if the neighbors hear what a good song they are to hear. So come on, let's really sing, give God some praise. Let's go for it.
People come together, strangers, neighbors, our blood is one. Children of generations, of every nation, kingdom come. So don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high, don't fear no evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth. God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where our help comes from. Whoa.
Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me by quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
I've been strong and I've been broken within a moment. I've been faithful and I've been reckless at every bend. I've held everything together and watched it shatter. I've stood tall and I have crumbled in the same bed. I have wrestled and I have trembled towards surrender. Chased my heart adrift and drifted home again. Plundered blessings till I've been desperate to find redemption. But every time I turn around, Lord, you're still there.
I was found before I was lost. I was yours before I was not. Grace to spare for all my mistakes, and that part just breaks me. And I don't deserve this kind of love, but somehow this kind of love is who you are. It's a grace I could never run up, to be somebody you still want. But somehow you love me as you find me. Who am I to think your glory needs my praises? But if this borrowed breath is yours, Lord, take it all. You are faithful and you are gracious, and I'm just grateful to think you don't need a single thing, but still you want my heart. I was found before I was lost. I was yours before I was not. Wear the scars for all my mistakes, and that part just wrecks me. I don't deserve this kind of love. Oh no. Somehow this kind of love is who you are. It's a grace I could never earn, to be somebody you still want. Somehow you love
love me as you found me. You love me as you found me. You love me as you found me. Oh my God, you love me as you found me. You love me as you found me. Oh, you love me as you found me. You love me as you found me. You love me as you found me. If you want my heart, I won't second guess, 'cause I need your love more than anything. And I'm yours. Your love's too good to leave me here. Your love's too good to leave me. If you want my heart, I won't second guess, 'cause I need your love more than anything. And I'm yours. Your love's too good to leave me here. Oh, your love's too good to leave me. If you want my heart, I won't second guess, 'cause I need your love more than anything. And I'm yours. Your love's too good to leave me here. Your love's too good to leave me.
No, I don't deserve this kind of love. Somehow, this kind of love is who you are. It's a grace I could never earn, to be somebody you still want. Somehow, you love me as you find me.
If you want my heart, I won't second guess, 'cause I need your love more than anything. I'm yours. Your love's too good to leave me here. Your love's too good to leave me. If you want my heart, I won't second guess, 'cause I need your love more than anything. I'm yours. Your love's too good to leave me here. Your love's too good to leave me.
That was a great time of worship. I enjoyed
good.
that.
Yeah, really good.
I miss it as well.
I know, something about being together in worship, but we're getting there.
We're going to get there soon. Actually, we're planning on resuming in-person services from September. That's the plan. but obviously there's a lot of work to do between now and then to make sure all the social distancing protocols are observed. And then also, you know, how do you create a meaningful service without congregational singing? So anybody fancy being a pastor at the moment? But that's a big challenge for us, but we appreciate your prayers standing with us. And by the way, I was thinking the other day, you know, Joe, the Junction Church, this October, the Junction Church will turn 8 years old. Can you believe that? Wow. 8 years, 2012. I was a young, handsome thing then.
Still are.
Still try my best, and actually, but you were there, weren't you, at the beginning?
Yes, I was. It's crazy you say 8 years, Pastor Ray, because I'm like, has it been that long? Like that? It's flown by, but at the same time, it has. You felt the 8 years. It's been amazing to see.
You've been there all 8 years, but I've known you 7.
Okay, yeah. That is very
I didn't get to know you that first year. You were that guy.
Very true.
You would sneak into church and then sneak out of church.
I became very good at, you know, sort of timing myself to come in just as the third worship song was being sung and then leaving right at the end. It was amazing.
And he got saved. And it's amazing what God has done in his life. But honestly, Joe's a blessing. And the truth is, we've got an amazing team. And over these last, can you believe, 18 weeks of online church, our team have been absolutely amazing in terms of how they've served in the life of the church. It has been absolutely amazing. Now, I hear that, you know, lots of people have been developing new skills in the lockdown, you know, cooking skills and so on. Joe, I understand that you have developed a brand new skill that has become an internet sensation. Is that right?
Oh, yes. So I've discovered that I'm very, very good at doing exercises, you know, fitness, physical stuff, all of that. I get loads of messages from people, oh, can we join your Zoom lesson and stuff like that. I charge by the hour £100. So, but today I am going to give everyone a sneak peek.
And this is for free. So he's been, out of the generosity of his heart, we are going to be seeing a video that has been donated to the Junction Church, especially by the master here, as I call him, because that's the sensation that he is. So take a look at this very powerful exercise video that I can honestly say has changed my life.
Hello there. You've heard of Joe Wicks, but have you heard of this Joe? Hey, yeah, me. I'm gonna show you how you can stay physically fit today. Okay, we're gonna do some exercises, right? Don't go anywhere. All right, first off, you've got to warm up, get the blood flowing, okay? Now we're gonna do some star jumps, okay? And they go like this. Only 5 or 4, don't know. You don't want to work yourself out too soon. Next, we're gonna do some squats, okay? This is how you squat, okay? I call this the alternate squat, and it works out every part of your body and no part at the same time. It's brilliant. Okay, finally, last of all, worked up a sweat there. We're going to rest, because that's important. But I've got a different kind of rest to the ones you used to. Most people like to warm down and all kinds of stuff. No, what I do is I just get on my knees, take 3 deep breaths. Sorry, I meant 2. 3's too much, because then it becomes work, you know. Only 2, you don't need to do that many. Right, see? You already feel more fit than you did 30 seconds ago, don't you? Well, that's good, well, because that's what I do. But you know what? Physical fitness isn't the only kind of fitness out there. We've also got to take care of our minds. And we've got someone today who's going to tell us just how we can do that. So, see you next time. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my word. Let me tell you something. That video has so worked for me.
It works for me.
Look at me. Look at the difference it's made. I've been observing your teachings now for the last year, and look at the difference it's made in me. Very, very powerful
stuff. I can
honestly
say I'm honoured to change the lives of so many people out there, and my secretary will be taking numbers after the service online if you do want to get in touch.
Listen, Christians, you got to have a bit of fun. You know, in a season like this, you can't lose your sense of humour. That was really funny. Thanks for making that joke. Keep making more of those. And by the way, if you were to produce those for YouTube, I'm pretty sure they would become a sensation as well.
Probably
doesn't take that much these days.
Yeah.
But listen, one of our strap lines here at the Junction Church is that we do life. That has been a strap line for a lot of years now, probably the whole 8 years that we've been in existence as a church. And of course, as well as our main Sunday services, we also host midweek life groups as well. Now, these are smaller groups of people, probably between 8 and 12, something like that, and they meet together to chat, to snack, and to pray. Those are the three things that we do. Now, obviously, in this season, it's been a little difficult to do all of those together, but thank God for Zoom.
Yes.
Have you been at life group?
I have been at life group in Zoom, and I tell you what's been really amazing, church, is we've actually seen so much growth in our life groups actually in this season. So it's never been easier to connect into a life group, and like Pastor Roy said, it's just an amazing way to chat, to snack, to pray, and you do that with people. And I think in this time where people have been really sort of separated, what it's done is provided an avenue for people to come together and stay connected. So by all means, get plugged in the life group if you're not already.
Yeah, don't do life on your own in this season. That is literally the worst thing that could possibly happen. No, we weren't designed to do life on our own. Yeah. So if you would like to get connected into one of our life groups, then there's a number there that you can see on the screen, 07856 277-980. You can see the number there. Text that number now. Text it now and just say, I want to become a part of a life group. And then we've got like so many life groups, as Joe has just said. Our life groups have grown so much. We have never had so many people in life groups doing alpha courses. It has just been a phenomenal time for us in our church, a time of growth. And hey, listen, the more the better. So if you want to connect into what we're doing in our midweek program, you're more than welcome to do that. And of course, life groups is great as well. We also have an amazing team of people who serve behind the scenes. You've been involved in worship, right?
Yes, I have. Yes, the team have been amazing. We were talking earlier about how much we miss on the corporate side of things. But what's been really, really key in this season is that we've had so many people in the life of our church who are working tirelessly behind the scenes to produce these amazing services that keep us connected.
In fact, we made a little video, a little behind the scenes video to let you see our little studio and let you see all the inner workings. Believe me, what you're seeing now is not what this studio looks like, I can tell you. Let's take a look at the video and you can see a little bit behind the scenes. Hello, church. This is Pastor Roy here in a mask. Yes, this is me, and I'm actually speaking. The words are not being dubbed or anything like that. We just thought we'd show you our little studio. It's nothing special, but believe me, this is amazing. So I'm going to look behind me here. We're all observing social distancing protocols, etc., etc., etc. Behind me here, you can see, believe it or not, that is actually Gordon Kawuma. Hello, Gordon.
Hello.
And so you have been involved in what?
Yeah, so we've just been recording some worship songs for Sundays, and yeah.
So doing a great job with the worship team. If we could get more people in the room, we'd like to see all the worship team as well. Behind me here, this is Mr. Ian Gore right over here. Ian, what's your job?
I've been doing the sound while they've been recording their worship.
Excellent, and a great job you've been doing as well. This is Mr. Matt Allen. Yay! Matt Allen, what's your role in the church?
I help set up the cameras and film stuff.
He's too modest. He pretty much does everything, and he does a lot of the video segments and so on that you see on Church News. He edits those and makes them all work. Here we have our resident Romanian. This is Leah. We love Leah. And what's your role in the church?
I help set up the set, put the leaves up and things like that.
Wow. Do you put them up leaf by leaf?
Yes, Pastor Roy.
Wow, amazing. And then over here, we have Mr. Noel Sathesh right over here. Sorry, I can't get too close, but obviously for obvious reasons I can't. And Noel, tell me what your role is in the life of the church.
So this is where we monitor the stream from and run the stream for Sunday services.
Yeah, and there's some other guy over there as well. Anyway, so that's our little studio. It is amazing to see what's happening. We've even got a phone number here because we forget it, and that's there. So, and that's mainly because of me. So we really hope that you enjoy today's service. And honestly, the amount of effort that goes in to make this thing happen is absolutely phenomenal. We love you, church. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for standing with us. Speak to you soon. I don't know why I said I'll speak to you soon, because I'm back now. I don't know why I said that on that previous video there. Anyway, thank you to all of the people who serve behind the scenes in the life of our church. I think that we have written something like 12 new songs in this season, and watch out, because later in the year we're going to be releasing an album of all of those songs, and maybe a few that haven't even been heard yet as well. So watch this space. It's been a great season, hasn't it?
It has been amazing. Just the creativity that's just been so evident in the life of our church has been amazing to see, and I'm looking forward to that album.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So watch this space. It's going to be happening soon. Now, The next segment of this service, I think you're in for a real treat. We wanted to talk today about a subject that really is a very current and relevant subject. It's a huge subject, actually, and that's the subject of mental health. How can we take care of our mental health in a season like this? I think that if there was an apt subject, that is it right there. Obviously, we can't say everything that there is to say about the subject because it is so huge, but we can certainly bring it up and offer some biblical perspective on that. And so today I've invited a guest speaker to come and just speak to us, obviously with the wonders of technology. Pastor Bob Carley is a wonderful guy. He's a pastor in Ireland, but also he has written extensively and spoken extensively, even done TED Talks on the subject of mental health, with a real sort of faith emphasis in that and a biblical perspective on it as well. So will you sit back for the next few minutes and just really receive, lean in, get some good teaching? I think this is going to help a lot of people. So without any further ado, here's Pastor Bob Carley.
Hi, how are you? I'm Pastor Bob Carley from the Life Centre Church in Dublin. Delighted to join you at the Junction Church for your Live at 10. What an exciting programme. I was tuned in last week. Amazing, fantastic hosting by Fraser and Amy and John and Josephine. Great word by Pastor Roy. Amazing worship, fantastic testimonies, and what a sense of energy. So I pray every blessing on your Live at 10. So happy to hear that your church is growing in the lockdown. Isn't that brilliant? And so for me to come over today from Ireland to you is an absolute honour to speak to the people in Loughborough and Nottingham and in Leicester and and in Jamaica, I believe. I think there was someone on from Jamaica last week. So to all those people, what a gift for me to be asked by Pastor Roy to come and share. Big risk to let someone into your flock in a church. It's like a dad minding his kids and then a crazy uncle comes along. So I am your crazy uncle from Ireland. So delighted to come and speak. I know Pastor Roy has covered drift, and I know last week he talked about self-talk. And really, I think I'm going to add just to some of that about my thoughts on mental health. And I think from what you've heard about me already, I am a pastor who works a lot in the area of mental health. And I'm going to tell you now, I've had my own journey in mental health. So maybe let's put that up front and honest. I've struggled with mental health myself on at least 3 occasions in my life. 3 major occasions, probably struggle with it every day of the week, if I'm honest. I think we all do. But normally you'd find me speaking on stages and talking to people and larging it up all about mental health and just generally trying to convince people. I want to take away some of the myths maybe about mental health. Even today, people tuning in, maybe some people are kind of going, well, it's not for me, like it's for people with mental health. It's not really for me, is it? It's for someone with issues, right? So I'm going to say this, you might have heard the statistic that 1 in 4 people have an issue with their mental health. 1 in 4. Okay, so you could look, if you're in church in seating, and we're not anymore, we're all at home, but say you're in the rows and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, you might go, it's not him, it's not him, it's not him, it's him. Or it's not him, it's not him, it's not him, it's me. Okay, so 1 in 4. I want to throw that out the window. I want to say not 1 in 4. What I want to say to you is, let's say it's 4 in 4. It's absolutely everyone has an issue with their mental health. And when I say issue, I don't mean you have a problem. We have an issue. Like if you have a car, you have an issue with car maintenance. If you have a house, you have an issue with house maintenance. It's not that it needs fixing. It's just that you have to tend to it. Check it. Make sure it doesn't. Do what needs to be done, but it's an issue. Okay, so today I want us all to say that everyone in the Junction Church has an issue with their mental health. We're all in this together. We're going to find ways that we can all find tips, tools and techniques that will help us. We're going to find scripture that will encourage us. We're going to find encouragement that's going to help us walk on the road, that will help us through the stuff that's tough. Life is tough sometimes. Life is hard sometimes. Scripture never promised it's going to be easy all the time, but it did promise that he's never going to leave you, never going to forsake you. He's always going to be with you. And I want you to know this, you are never, never alone. Okay, ever. So don't let the enemy tell you that lie in your head that it's just you, it's only you, there was never anyone else. You're not, and you're not alone. And even we're blessed as believers because we know we have Jesus with us because he's promised he'll never leave us or forsake us. But I want you to know that on a practical basis, there's loads of people surrounding you who'd help you. So anything I'd say might trigger some stuff for you today, might get you thinking about something, might scrape back something that's in your heart or in your head, and you might go, I need to talk to someone. Listen, there is an army of people around you who are more than willing to help you. You've got your family and friends, you've got the Junction Church pastoral team, you've got counsellors, you've got the Samaritans, whose number 116123 is very familiar to me because because it's the same here in Ireland. And then you've got your GP, and the NHS have all sorts of services for people, for mental health services. So if I was to be asked what way would I talk about mental health, maybe I'll just say it, I'll make it easy. I'm going to tell you 4 love stories. Is that okay? Romantic morning in the church. I've got 20 minutes to do it, and I've already used up a whole load of that. So I'm going to speak really fast. Pastor Roy can do the Irish translation for you, so you'll know exactly what I said after all of this. Because I'm going to talk about life, but maybe not as we know it. But let's start off with some scripture. Let's put this basis off. I want to say this. Jesus once said this. He said that the thief comes to kill and steal and destroy, but I've come that you would have life to the full. Not kind of life, not sort of life, not an okay life, life to the full. Abundant life, it's described in the old version of the Bible, the King James Version, but life to the full. So that's not eternal life now, that's not your eternal home, that's now, that's abundant life. So now Jesus is saying, I want to give you that, but the other guy, he wants to steal it, kill it and destroy it. So as Roy said last week, there's this battle going on in your mind. One, that you should thrive and prosper. The other, that you should be dragged down into a space where you can't be the full you. And I love that when Jesus started his ministry, this really blesses me. Jesus opened the scripture on his first day in the temple when he came to announce his ministry. And he read these beautiful words from Isaiah. He said, the Spirit of the Lord is now on me, for he has anointed me to preach good tidings to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound. Man, if that ever described when you struggle with your mental health, broken-hearted, in prison, bound and feeling captive. And that's why I love what the church has to offer us for our mental health. We've got to be practical, but we also know that we've got an incredible Jesus there who's there for us to heal the broken-hearted and to free prisoners. So that might mean that Jesus is interested in our career and our life and our family and our future and just in giving us an abundant life, isn't it? So what has happened life? Do you remember those good old days when it was just Brexit in the news, just Boris and what we're going to do and how we're going to separate from Europe? And in fact, it got so tiresome, we kind of like, is there anything that's going to change this? Could anything change this? And then one day the goalpost got moved. This new thing called COVID-19 arrived into all our lives. And suddenly everything was different. The headlines were not about Brexit, they're about face mask shortages and seniors struggling and when will the outbreak end? And then when it went from the broadsheets and the news, it went onto the social media, which got really scary because you're getting postings from a woman who 3 weeks ago was a nail painter or a hairdresser or a man who used to be a mechanic, but now they're both medical specialists and they're telling us the truth about the virus and we're passing it on and it just gets chaotic and no one knows what the new normal is. And the goalposts in your work life and in your ordinary life might have moved. You might remember a time when you used to work in a fantastic place like this and you've now moved to working under the stairs or in your bathroom because it's the only place that has Wi-Fi. You might remember the olden days when you had lovely meals in the canteen and work, and now this is what the canteen looks like and there's a 2-year-old spilling food all over the place. You might remember when you used to go to these beautiful meetings in venues where we all sat around a table and laughed and clapped each other's backs, and now all we do is see each other on screen in little squares where all your friends looks like a bar of chocolate. It's tough. You might now be getting used to 2 meter distancing, or as you say in the UK, 6 feet and 3 inches or something, but it's 2 meters here. So 2 meters, like seeing your friends from afar, no hugging, no high-fiving. You might be getting used to constantly washing your hands, constantly disinfecting. You might be getting used to that train at the supermarket where we all have to stand behind our trolleys. And all of this has been talked about all the time, but you know what? There's an elephant in the room that no one wants to talk about during the COVID-19. But your church, the Junction Church, have decided to maim the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is mental health. And COVID-19 has had an effect on all our mental health. It has affected our stress, it has affected our anxiety, and it has affected our depression. Because mental health is all around us. And how we react to life and how we deal with COVID-19 is really seriously going to affect our mental health. And I've had to ask myself, am I reacting like a thermometer or like a thermostat? In its simplest form, a thermometer goes wherever the temperature goes, a thermostat controls it. So maybe what I'm going to talk about today will help you to control your situation rather than to be driven by your situation. Maybe it's going to help you to get your head and your heart back to being friends, taking selfies together, living life together and having a good life together. Maybe it's about this, and this story is my first love story. It goes back to when I was very, very small. That's me, that little smiling kid in the white jumper on the left-hand side. And I remember when I would fall, I would cut my knee and cry. and my mum would look after me. She'd bless me and look after me. And then I'd wait till my dad came home, and he was a big fat man who wore an army jacket, and his army jacket was rough wool and had a smell of sweat, and it had a smell of cigarette smoke and turf, which was what they were burning in the army barracks, and it had a smell of Old Spice, because it was not only the best a man could get, it was all a man could get. That was my dad's smell. And when he would see me cry, he would bend down, open up his army jacket, put one of my arms in one side, put the other arm in the other side, and then button up my jacket till I was locked in his embrace. And he would say these words to me. He said, "Don't be crying, son, because you're lovely, you're lovable, and you're loved. You're lovely, you're lovable, and you're loved." Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I've been trying to get back into that space all my life. And what's been happening to me is that life has happened to me. Right? So life has happened to me, and life brought stresses. And if you don't know what stress feels like, just squeeze your hand as tight as you can and then let go of it and feel that stiffness that's left. Imagine your body being stressed up and tensed up, and when you let it go, is it no wonder that we end up with sicknesses and diseases caused by the natural reaction of our body to fight or flight, but the residue of what it does leaves us in a space where we're all starting to struggle and feeling that we have fatigue and tight chest and maybe pains in our chest and diarrhea and constipation, but maybe not at the same time. But we just physically feel unwell. And a lot of that is caused by stress. So it's really important that we look at what are the things that are wrecking our buzz, what are the things that are wrecking our heads. And I know for sure in my life, there's 5 major things. First of all, there's my past, and that is like things that happened in the past that shouldn't have happened to me. I did things in my past that shouldn't have done, and I remember that. I also worry about the future, what's coming down the road. I'm a granddad now, I'm worrying about my grandkids. I've increased my tribe. And then there's these 3 things that I worry about, and I suppose we all have them. It's like 3 pillars in your life, easy to remember, SAS. I worry about my sense of significance. I worry about who I am and do I matter. I worry about, am I making a difference? I worry about, am I accepted? Am I part of? Do I belong? Who's my tribe? So acceptance is huge. I worry about security. I worry about all the change that's going on. Am I safe and all of that? And I suppose right back to when we were babies and had our blankets, we always wanted to be secure. We want to be significant, accepted and secure. And maybe even today, if you do one thing after service today, maybe you'll say, well, if there are 3 pillars, maybe they need some maintenance. Which one do I need to work on? My sense of significance, my sense of acceptance, or my sense of security? And maybe I'll give you some stuff that will help you in that. Because honestly, in mental health, what your mind is full of is the thing that's going to make the difference. Whatever you think is what you're going to do. As a man thinketh, so he is. What's in the heart comes out the mouth. The scripture's full of references to our mind and how it controls how we live our life. The Bible even tells us to take every thought captive. Be the boss of your thoughts. So thoughts aren't like innocent little things. You know, you have 65,000 a day going around in your head. So it would make sense to take them captive if they're the things that are driving you into a life that is less than you were created for. Remember, Jesus said he came that you would have life to the full. Maybe your thoughts are the things that are limited. So I would have to say, like, does that work? Now, let me tell you, I told you one love story already. Here's another one. And it's a love story of immense proportions. And it's time to be a little bit romantic. Let me tell you this, that on the 28th of September 1978 at 4:30 in the prefect's room in Mount Temple School in Malahide Road in Dublin, I kissed a girl called Jean Manahan, and it changed my life. I was 16 at the time, and I married her when I was 23. And we went on in a very short time to have 5 kids, so it was a busy, busy time. So if you could imagine that we were together for 36 years, we went through an extraordinary life together. We went through life through marriage separation and back again. It was just an extraordinary journey. But on the 6th of September 2011, at 4:30, I was in the studio cutting an ad for a TV commercial, and I got a phone call to say, Jean is in hospital. Jean is very, very sick. Now, Jean was the girl who most told me that I was lovely, lovable and loved. We were known as Rob and Jean. There was no just Rob, there was no just Jean. That was us. And Jean had an aneurysm, and I sadly lost her 2 days later. So I lost the love of my life, and honestly, that was the day my mental health took what I describe as my 3rd big crash in my life. And I didn't think I'd come back from it. I didn't think I'd recover from it. But I started doing the things that I knew were good for mental health. So I got myself into counselling. I started making sure I exercised, making sure I slept well. I started talking to people. One of the things I started doing was volunteering. Would you believe one of Jean's wishes was to build a hospital in Africa for children in Uganda. So as a family we did that. We raised money and we built a 28-bed children's hospital in Uganda. And on one of those visits, and I think this is how God works, I was really struggling with my significance and who am I. And we were asked to speak to a group of young men who were living, would you believe, on a dump in Uganda, just outside Kumi, which is the town we were in. And we met this young man, and he said to me, will you speak to our group? And I was like, what would I say? Well, what do you say to kids who live in a dump when the clothes you're standing in, although your old clothes, were immensely more valuable than everything they had? And I prayed, I said, God, just give me something wise to say. And I looked down, and at my feet, and I still have it here, I don't know if you can see it, it's very brittle, it's a little card, it's a playing card. So that was on the ground in the dump. And I remember thinking that when I was in school, and I should have been studying, I used to play cards with my friends, we used to play a game called Blackjack, and if you got the ace of clubs, that was the winning card. And here it was in a dump, people walking on it, covered in mud. And I remember picking it up and thinking, like, it's still an ace of clubs. So no matter where it ended up, it still had the same value. The problem was, it wasn't where it should have been, in a winning hand, in a card game, in a nice, comfortable room. And I remember it's like God saying to me, I want you to know this, Rob, that you are made in my image and you are precious. Tell these young men that they're made in my image and they're precious. So for someone in Junction Church today, the enemy is whispering in your ear that you are nothing. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter where you are, you're still what God made you to be. You are his ace. Right? You are the winning hand for what this world needs. Don't mind the enemy. I'm telling you this. And the only place you're going to find that truth is in Scripture. And that really helped me to be reminded by God that I'm lovely, lovable and loved. And when I came home from Uganda, I remember I'm going to throw myself full-time into the work in the church. And I remember one day being at church, maybe a year later, and this lady came up and asked me, how did you get involved in what's going on in church, and why are you so involved? And I just said, well, look, church needs people to be involved. So this lady said she had an idea to start a ministry for senior citizens, would you believe? And I'm like, why is she asking me? I'm young and cool. And the ministry was called Joy, Just to Older Youth. So we started working on that together, and maybe after 2 or 3 months, I started thinking, actually, I am falling in love for the second time in my life. I am, and I was kind of frightened, so I didn't know what to do and how to do it. So I asked her out for coffee, and then we went out for a meal, and I don't know, I think on the third meal, I kind of said to her, Karen, do you think if I asked you to marry me, would you marry me? And she said, I think if you ask me, then I might be able to give you an answer. So I asked her, and we got married, and she's an incredible woman. And together, myself and Karen are grandparents now to 2 incredible children, who obviously have the same respect for rules as their granddad. And we just have a great time. And listen, we're pastoring a church together, and God has really blessed us. And in that space, I suppose what God is reminding me about my mental health is that, you know, you're significant, accepted and secure. And it doesn't just sit on that piece, because I tell you where it sits, because the next love story I want to tell you, this one, it says that in Scripture it says, Beloved, I would above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. God's love story is that he wants us to prosper. So whatever the enemy's whispering in your ear, he knows your past. And he knows your future, which is brilliant. And what I love this is he created the pillars. He knows you need to be significant. He knows you need to be safe. And he knows you need to be accepted. In fact, his scripture is full of stuff to tell you that you are significant. He says this, look, you, listen to this, you are the salt of the world. So the world's depending on us. He tells in John, you have been chosen. He tells in Corinthians, you are God's co-worker. He would tell us in Philippians, you can do all things through Christ. Does that, man, if we're looking for significance, there it is. You are God's co-worker. You're doing it with him. I love that. You've been chosen and appointed by him. You've got a heavenly commission. Honestly, having a commission, my dad's an army officer, having a commission is something big. Having a commission from God is something huge. So he knows you need to be significant. He wants you to know you matter. He knows you need to be accepted. He wants you to know today that you belong. You belong, and he tells you that in Scripture. He tells you in John, he tells you you are his child. He tells you you're Christ's friend. He tells you in Corinthians, you're a member of Christ's body. You're a part of this incredible thing. And being involved in Junction Church will give you that sense of belonging and being accepted. He tells us in Colossians, I love this, you are complete in Christ. If the enemy's whispering in your ear that you don't belong, The truth says different. The scriptures say different. My word is truth. That's what it says in the Bible. He wants you to know this. Beyond anything else, you're safe. He'll tell you that you're free forever from condemnation. There's no more condemnation for us. You're safe. He'll tell you in Romans that you can't be separated from God's love. Nothing can separate you from God's love. He'll tell you in Colossians you're hidden with Christ in God. He'll tell you in 1 John 5 that you're born of God and the evil one cannot touch you. That is safe. When I want to be safe, I want to know that nothing can touch me. And Scripture, the truth in Scripture tells me this, because he wants to have a relationship with you. You know, Brené Brown says the basis of a good relationship is this, that you want to feel seen, heard and valued. That is what Jesus offered me. That is what, when my mental health crashed, God stepped in and said, Rob, you're seen, heard and valued. You're lovely, you're lovable and you're loved. You're significant, accepted and secure. And he wants you to know that today. He wants you to know this, that the enemy might have a plot for your life, but God has a plan. Do you want to know what God's plan is? God so loved the world that he sent his son, that whoever believes in him wouldn't perish, but would have everlasting life in eternity, and abundant life on earth. He wants you to know that when you're in the struggle, he's going to give you the grace to get through it. He wants you to know that he loves you so much. He wants you to know this. He wants you to know he's not mad at you, he's mad about you. And there's a song that we sing, and I just said it says everything that we say about God's love for you. He loves you. Oh, how he loves you. And in my journey in mental health, in the times when I crashed and burned, he lovingly picked me up and reminded me, you're lovely, you're lovable, you're loved, you're significant, you're accepted, you're secure. And his scripture is full of things to tell you that. So when you're struggling, just look to him. And look, it's easy to talk to him. Like, mental health is a time for prayer and care. I remember seeing this great thing once, I just thought it was brilliant. It said prayer is our first response, not our last resort. And Junction Church, I pray great things for you. And if you don't know Jesus, will you please contact someone in Junction Church and make sure that you know the scriptures that I've shown you there are true. God bless you. God bless Junction Church. God bless Live at 10. And if anyone needs to chat or to talk, Pastor Roy will give you my contact details, and I'm more than happy to talk to you. So God bless, and thanks for having me in today.
I will fix my eyes on you. You're God in every circumstance that I go through. You're stronger than the fiercest storm that comes my way. In every situation I will say, be my vision. Be my vision. Be the center of my life. May I never lose the sight of who you are. Of who you are. God is on his holy throne. Even when the world around me seems out of control, you're Lord of all, and that's everything I need to know. When life gets complicated, even so, be my vision. Be my vision. Be the center of my life. May I never lose the sight of who you are. Of who you are. I choose to worship, I choose to praise, I choose to lift my eyes and glorify your I choose to worship, I choose to praise, I choose to lift my eyes and glorify your name. I choose to worship, I choose to praise, I choose to lift my eyes and glorify your name. I choose to worship, I choose to pray, I choose to lift my eyes and glorify your name. Oh, your name. Oh, be my vision, be my vision, be the center of my life. May I never lose the sight of who you are, of who you are. Be my vision, oh, be my vision, be the center of my life. May I never lose the sight of who you are, of who you are, oh, of who you are, of who you are.
Hey guys, my name is Ian and I'm part of the Junction Church, and what a fantastic service we have had so far today. And I just want to give a massive thanks and shout out to every single one of you that gives into the life of the church. Everything we have seen this morning, all 3 services, all the midweek groups we have, and everything we've got planned in the future, like Vibe Conference, none of this would be possible without your amazing generosity. So thank you so, so much. And if this is something that you want to get involved with as well, then all the information is at the bottom of the screen. You go on to junctionchurch.net/give or text Junction Give to 07380 307 800. There is no better ground to sow into than God's kingdom.
I love that. Thank you so much, church, for standing with us in this incredibly challenging season. And I know that for a lot of us, these have been challenging times, even in terms of our own finances. So we really appreciate you standing with us in the life of our church, because we're really trying to do our best to serve God and to serve the community around us as well. So if you can stand with us and sow into God's house, that would mean a lot. Let me just run through those details again. If you want to give by text, you can do that. The number is 07380 307 800, and you can text the words Junction Give to that number, and we would just appreciate you standing with us as well. You can also give online, junctionchurch.net/give, and there's just lots of ways you can stand with us and give in this season. What a great service it's been today. It's been very, very special. Thank you, Pastor Bob Carley, for bringing an absolutely phenomenal word today. It was encouraging, it was uplifting, exciting, it was quirky, it was funny, and I just love the way you communicated today. And I know that a lot of people will have found that word really helpful. I guess that when you know you're loved, that's a perspective that really helps you through every challenge in life, right?
That is true. That's such an important perspective. And I mean, one thing that, you know, that comes to mind, guys, like, I think be really kind to yourselves in 2020. It's been a very strange year, to put it lightly. It's certainly not any year like we've ever experienced, or probably will ever experience. You never really know. But it can be so easy to, you know, in the midst of all of that, be so hard on yourselves. And I think, you know, part of the heart of what we've heard today is just to step aside and be really kind to yourselves. You know, give yourself some slack, cut yourself some slack, as the saying goes. And like you say, it's so important to know that we are loved, and that's something to always remember.
That's true. 2020 has been no normal year, that's for sure. And you've made it, and you're doing great. Keep going for it, and we're going to cheer you on all the way as a church as well. Keep tuning into Online Church. Got a special message coming up next week. We're going to finish off our lockdown series. Special message giving you some perspective on love. I'm talking about love next week, but it's not going to be one of those normal gooey messages. I'm going to be talking about what real love is all about. And if ever there was a lesson that we needed to learn in this lockdown, I guess that's one of the major lessons as well. So make sure you tune in and bring somebody with you next week, right?
Yes,
Now,
it's never been easier to invite someone.
What's your plan for today, then?
Today, I'm having a good day this afternoon. I'm going to get loads of food. I'm going to meet up with some friends. We're going to go out to a park and have a socially distanced picnic. So really looking forward to that.
Are you going to make the picnic yourself?
No, Tesco will do that. Every little helps. Yeah, I'm buying everything that's already pre-made and pre-ready to eat.
Very good.
And hopefully it's not raining.
Here's what I've done, right, early this morning. A joint of beef in the slow cooker. So that means you give it a good 8 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, something like that, and then it's a wonderful experience afterwards. That's my lunch.
You know, we might scrap our plans and come around to yours, Pastor Roy. That sounds amazing. That sounds really good.
Well, listen, it's been great to have you with us today, and always at the Junction Church, we always finish off on a great note of praise, and so we want you to join us now as we finish off. And don't forget, join our guys even after the song, because they're going to be chatting to you, interacting with you, and so make sure that you stick around for that. We've got a great song. You're going to love this. Get everybody together. Sing it with all your heart. We love you guys. Have a wonderful week. See you next week.
See ya.
You've given me hope, real hope, and I'm living in it every day. You've given me life, real life, and there is nothing that can take it away. You are my heart, and I will follow you for all of my days. I trust your love, and I'm leaning into all of your grace.
Hey guys, welcome back and welcome to our post-service hangout here in the studio. My name is Angie, this is Shana, and this is Musa, and we're just going to be chilling with you guys after the service. Guys, what an incredible,
amazing
service and message as well from Pastor Bob. I, loved it, and we're going to get into that in a second, but we wanted to know, what is your service highlight? Drop them in the comments. We would love to hear them. I know for me personally, my service highlight has to be Joe's workout vid.
I mean, I want to know when the DVD is coming out. Like, when is the DVD available for us to buy?
He needs to show us all of this because I live with Joe and I've never seen this home workouts before, so he really needs to show me because I'm just trying to be like him. Like, he's got all those muscles, all that fitness, everything. Joe, I'm trying to be like you, man.
You have like an in-house PT now, Musa.
Yeah, that's true.
What you have.
I really need to take advantage of this. I haven't taken advantage of this during lockdown.
As well, like, I really want to know where he got all the neon like headbands and stuff from. Like,
that seems really easy. How he's definitely been doing something for a while then, just for him to pull those out of the bag.
I don't think this is new. I don't think this is a new thing.
But guys, that service literally just exceeded my expectations. Week 2 of Live at 10, and oh my gosh. One of my favourite parts was worship. Worship, just so vibrant. And one of the things, it can be a bit hard to engage with worship during lockdown, but with our worship team just absolutely nailing every song, doing their own songs, new songs, like just the song after the service, after the preach as well. Absolutely fantastic. So big up to our worship team. They do an absolutely fantastic job. So thank you guys so much.
So good. And I'm seeing as well lots of people really jumping on Joe's workout video here. Lots of people
want to remember.
Like Joe's just put he's trying to start a business. So guys, I mean, message Joe if you want a copy of that DVD as well. I'm sure he's selling them off. Joe, you can put in the comments how much you're willing to sell that for.
I'm his marketing manager, by the way, so I get like so if we do an 80-20 split, I get 80, you get 20, so that'd be fantastic.
Got a lot of people as well bigging up the worship as well, agreeing with Musa. I feel like we're getting new songs. Like you said, we have some from Junction Collective, and then just other songs as well, like next level every week, just better and better. I love it. Shana,
so good.
Service highlight from you?
Mine has definitely got to be that message. Thank you so much, Pastor Bob. That was phenomenal. Yes. I mean, the point that really stood out to me was the bit about the playing card, the ace of clubs. I nearly said the ace of spades then. I was like, that's the wrong one. The ace of clubs, and saying, no matter where that club is, that's where that card is, that's still just as important. It still has so much value. And I just thought that was incredible. Like, I'm definitely going to have to go away and listen to that message again.
I know.
Like,
watch
100%.
Anything. YouTube, the church website, anything. Just so many opportunities. So guys, definitely watch that again. Definitely a message to watch.
Yeah. A lot of people in the comments as well, absolutely loving that message. It was phenomenal. Like, and all the verses.
Yes.
Like, if I need to go and watch that message again, it's just to catch all those verses. Like, I need to make some notes, write them down, stick them to the wall, post-it notes on the wall. That's what we need.
Definitely. I feel like you could, like, as you said, like, create a little bank of just verses that like you'll go to from off the back of that piece. Thank you so much, Pastor Bob.
Definitely.
Like, absolutely loved it. Musa, do you have a main takeaway?
I think the thing which I really loved about it was just the relatability and just the vulnerability which Pastor Bob showed. Because there's so much stigma around mental health in today's society, but just for the church to be really able to talk about it and directly address it, I just loved it. But the bit which I really took away from it was when we talk about the 3 pillars and addressing those. So significance, acceptance, and also security as well, and just linking that back into God's truth. It all stems from God's truth, and I just loved it. It was just so good. It was absolutely fantastic.
We are so blessed. Like, Lessons in Lockdown has been such an incredible teaching series. Like, we've had Drift, Self-Talk, and then this week, like, it's been absolute fire. I think for me, from this message, I loved his quote where it says, like, the enemy may have a plot, but God has a plan.
Come on.
That line alone was just, woo. And obviously then went on to share John 3:16 as well. But as you said, I just love the fact that we can talk talk about this here at the Junction Church, and you know, we have a community of people here for every single one of us as well, like where we can just feel at home and feel so loved. And it's just I just loved it. I don't want to just go watch it again right now. Like, it was so good.
That's it. This is going to finish, and the first thing that we're going to be doing is like back on YouTube rewatching that message.
So many gems. Like again, like guys, after this, like let's head over to YouTube. Like let's watch it again. Like it's absolutely fantastic. There's so many gems, and I guess if you watch it more, the more and more, we'll just keep on drawing out those gems from it.
Yeah.
But I just love what you just saying about just about the church community as well, because I guess even though we're at the end of the service, church doesn't just stop here on a Sunday. We have a whole host of things going on throughout the week. Live groups, as Pastor Roy and Joe mentioned during the service. It's just a phenomenal way just to build that community, and not only to just hang out with each other, but then to also just maybe talk about the service or devotional and really reflect and just grow in that community. I love life group. How about you guys? How have you been finding life groups in this season?
I love life group. I'm very lucky, so I get to do a couple different life groups. I have one on a Monday with our young people, TRG, which stands for This Rising Generation, which I love.
Okay.
And we have so much fun, and so we play games, and you know, it's a good time. So if you are between 11 and 18 and want to come along and get to know some great young people, get along to TRG. And then I have another one as well. But yeah, life groups are just so good. Like I miss obviously meeting in person and having like the snacks as well. But just to have that like midweek like pick me up and like have those conversations. Like literally, if you're not part of a life group, I would highly encourage you to get connected into one.
I mean, I like completely agree. I think it's so good. Like you know, obviously on Sunday we get loads of encouragement from the service. But then as the week goes on, like you know, sometimes it, you know, there can be like a midweek dip. But life group is so good at just pulling you out of that, isn't it? Like it's such a good midweek encouragement boost. Like, and they're just so much fun as well. Like I don't know about you guys, but we also play games in my life group.
Okay.
So we do like you know, we have like the devotional praise reports. We talk through the service, and then we always play a little game at the end.
Nice.
And it's just a really fun way to just build that community and like build that friendship as well. So it's so good. I mean, Josie said the snacks. People are talking about life group snacks. I mean,
we in our life group, we took it to the next level. We had a snacks rota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So our girls were like, the snacks were beautiful. We had like bread platters, meat platters. We had an themed night, an Italian night. I'm just saying, our life group snacks.
I mean, I'm just gonna take us on a quick diversion. But you know, I'm really lucky to be part of the Nottingham life group, and there's a girl in our Nottingham campus called Julia who is the best baker.
Big up Julia.
Ever. Like her cakes are so good. So we got like amazing cakes every single week in our life group. I mean, that's what I really missed about lockdown, is just Julia's cakes.
And do you know what I loved about, I guess even though we're in lockdown, but life groups, like we've had people from all across the world join.
Yeah, it's true.
Like it's so strange. Like although we're in lockdown, we've always been able to expand. Like thanks to Zoom Ministries, life groups. I guess people may have got tired, but you know, as soon as we hear life group, everyone's jumping on it because we absolutely love it. But I just love the accessibility, because I know that we've had people from London, we've had people from like north of England, people all over the world really joining. So guys, if you're watching from anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world, please get involved. Like email us, direct message us, because you could be part of the family too.
Yeah, and we've had like new people joining life group, like joining in the community during this time as well. So don't think like just because you've never met us in person, you can't join a life group. Absolutely get stuck in. Like we have got a life group for you. There's loads and loads of different ones. But that kind of brings me on quite nicely to the rest of our midweek events. So I guess what are you guys doing this week? We've got loads of things to get involved with. So we've got life groups and things happening all throughout the week, but we do have like some other things going on as well. So what we got?
Wow. Before I get into that, I just love as well how people are bigging up Julia's baking in the comments. And I feel like now, Julia, like you kind of need to like deliver to us just so we can all get a taste of Julia's baking. Because I feel like that's the thing. People say it in the comments, but like if I don't get to taste it, how can I really verify?
Yeah, exactly. If you don't Instagram it, then it really happens.
The baking standard.
Who knows?
But plans for this week. I'm hoping it's just a sunny week. Do you know what I mean? Get the barbecue out and just, and just chill in the back garden.
Oh, the barbecue. Are you going to share this barbecue with? Okay.
Okay. I'm the type of person that goes to the barbecue. I don't.
Do you not cook in the barbecue?
No, because I have a brother who loves to barbecue, and I'm not going to steal that joy from him. So.
What's your go-to barbecue meal then?
Oh, it's got to be some jerk chicken, people. Especially marinated 24 hours before. Like, that's how you got to do it.
24 hours, not 23, not 25, 24 hours.
24
hours.
Specifically. Musa, how about you?
Well, to be honest, obviously there's other church stuff like student hangouts, or if you're a student, prospective student, email us, direct message us, get involved. It's just a great way to spend time with community. But I think I need to just get out, walk about, venture out. Because I grew up down south, and then in this lockdown, it's really taught me how to appreciate nature. Just going on nice walks, and you're like, wow, I did not realize this was really all of this stuff is just here. Like, I went to the Peak District the other week. I was like, wow, okay. Like, I've been missing out a lot in my life. So yeah, so I'm gonna explore. That's my aim.
Wow, that's pretty good, to be fair. I think for me this week, one thing, and feel free to tell us in the comments, by the way, what you guys are getting up to this week. If you've got any exciting plans, anything that's going on, feel free to let us know in the comments. But for me this week, I think I'm gonna plan a beach trip.
Oh.
But here's the thing. So basically, I've planned in my head. I've planned to go to the beach on Friday.
Okay.
But I looked at the weather forecast and it's meant to be sunny all week except for Friday where it's supposed to rain. So, so I'm hoping that it changes. I mean, I'll sit on a beach in the rain. We can do that. It's Britain, so that's what we're used to.
Very true. Very, very true.
But yeah, I feel like in this time, that's what you need to be, isn't it? Outside. Outside is the thing. And also, we have had some really, really good weather recently.
We have. I see Pastor Roy has said Skegness.
As
an option.
You know what? I've never actually been to Skegness, so I may actually need to venture. We need to do like a Junction Church trip just to Skegness, so everyone who hasn't been there can just.
I'm going to let you in on a little Midland secret. So we don't actually call it Skegness. We call it Skeg Vegas in the Midlands. Because really, people say they're going to the beach, but what they're really going for is the arcade, the little 2p machines.
I'm too tight. Those arcades, I don't play them. I don't want to lose my money. I'm just sorry. If it's not going to food or it's not going to a real cool experience, I'm not.
John's saying Plymouth. Plymouth is
far. It is very down south.
I'm thinking maybe within a couple of hours drive.
That's what he's just saying. Avoid it. Okay. I guess I'll stay in Loughborough. I'll stay within my remit. I'll stay within.
Pastor Jonah says I may go for a walk in my living room.
Oh,
we love that, adventurous. So adventurous. No, kitchen. From my living room to my kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Wow, it gets even better.
Just imagine Pastor Jonah just walking around the living room this is my daily exercise now.
Get my steps in.
Did you see that person that did, this is completely off topic, but did you see that person that did a whole marathon on their balcony earlier?
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, maybe that's what you could do, Pastor Jonah, a living room marathon.
Yeah, I think that would be really good. Yeah, Pastor
Yeah.
Jonah, you should do that. I think that would be fantastic.
If you want Pastor Jonah to do a living room marathon with Joe's workout video
yes.
on the side,
Yes.
feel free to put that in the comments because I think that's something that we all want to see.
Or
And
he
I'll
should
give the people what they want.
Incorporate as he's walking around, do those star jumps.
Like a little circuit.
A little circle.
Amazing.
I think the people want to see it happen, Pastor Jonah. So now you got to make it happen.
We've really got off topic. Mark, back on topic though. Mark's calling out Mablethorpe. I said Mablethorpe was quite good, to be fair. Mablethorpe's quite a nice local beach.
I've never heard of it.
But,
Never heard of it. I'm sorry.
A southerner where's this?
Charlie, you just give us a tour of this whole Midlands area. But I think there's so much we haven't seen.
I know Brighton Beach and Portsmouth, and that's my knowledge.
We need to go on a local beach tour. That's what we need.
I'm not arguing. I'm really not arguing about that.
Speaking of beaches though, I mean, as much as we have the UK, I feel like it doesn't compare to a beach abroad, does it?
Okay.
Let's be real.
I mean, if lockdown hadn't happened, I would have been on a plane to Florida today. So that's what I'm missing out on. But
you've got to spend time with us. Yes.
I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. This is good. I wouldn't want to miss this, to be fair.
True.
But honestly, like, we have got so many great things coming up. I'm sure you guys have got an amazing week. Noel's just put Sri Lankan beaches are better than UK beaches. I'm not gonna lie, I believe it.
I believe
No,
it.
you just need to take us to Sri Lanka with you, to be honest. That's what you just need to do.
Pastor Jonah's asking why I'm getting the people exercising. Exercise is good for us, you know. I've been sticking to the resting part of Joe's workout. That's definitely. Is that a chicken? Wow, that's definitely not the part of the workout video you should be taking away from.
Shane has said the Jamaican beaches, and I can 110% agree with that. The Jamaican beaches, beautiful.
I believe
but we can't believe it until we see it. So you're just gonna have to take us there, I'm afraid.
Do you know what? Everyone's kind of backing up their sort of like home though.
I love
like
it.
Shane's talking about Jamaica, Mariana's talking about Portugal. Like, I think maybe what we need is the Junction Church on tour, like around
worldwide,
worldwide beach tour.
Just go to everyone's country. Wow.
I believe that. I believe that. Lalu is saying Nigeria. Cool. Yeah. Another place for the tour.
Nigeria. Big up Nigeria. Yeah.
Thanks, Lamisa.
Just another place for the tour.
Essex
Another place for the
beaches,
tour.
South End on Sea.
Wow.
Classic.
Mark's put Cornwall. Cornwall they do have some really nice beaches. I mean, Cornwall is far though. Like, it took me 10 hours last time I drove to Cornwall. So.
What, from here?
Yeah, genuine. I mean, there was traffic. It didn't take me 10 hours of like straight driving. There was definitely traffic, but it did take so long. At one point, I was like, okay, I could have flown abroad and back in the time it's taken me just to drive to Cornwall.
You could have got to Ghana.
I absolutely could have. I could have gone almost anywhere else.
But in short, guys, have a good week.
Wow.
If you don't see it before you see it, you'll never see it.
Yes,
Come
Come on. We need that wisdom.
Always with the quote. We love it. We love
Absolutely.
But guys, again, we just really enjoyed hanging out with you. Like, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you just enjoyed the service. And guys, as we say again, just watch it again because there's so many gems which we could take out of it.
Yes.
And live groups again, all the midweek community. Guys, feel free to contact us or email us. The information will be inside the comment box by one of our online pastors. But guys, have a fantastic week from all of us here and at the Junction Church. Guys, see you next week.
Bye.